A local business facing repeated burglaries in the last year will tell you just how a few dollars has cost them thousands.
Plus, we're sharing the story of a firefighter returning to work after getting hurt and almost losing fingers while battling a house fire.
And we're finally transitioning over into a drier pattern with some warmer temperatures on the way, but we do have a very cold start ahead of us. We'll talk more about what you can expect on your Thursday morning coming up.
Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 5 a.m. on April 3rd. Welcome to NewsWatch 12 this morning. I'm David Alvarado.
And I'm Brinkley Hill. We're checking in with Storm Tracker 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress because, Sarah, I've been waiting to get to Thursday. It's supposed to be a really nice day. Are we still on track for some sunshine?
We are definitely on some track for some sunshine, but if you're into the Rogue Valley or area's west side this morning, we're dealing with a bit of cloud cover, so we're going to wait a little bit longer to see some of that brighter weather. But other areas across the region, we're dealing with mostly clear skies. But one thing we're not missing out on are those cold temperatures. Right now, 39 degrees in Medford and around the rest of the region. Take a look at what we're waking up to. 24 degrees in Klamath Falls. Teens as we're heading up towards Chemult, Montague 27. Along the coast, 43 degrees in Brookings. And for today, we'll expect our temperatures to climb up. We'll still be a bit below average, maybe a couple of degrees, but definitely will be feeling warmer than the past few days. We'll make it up to about a high of 58, 59 into Medford for us today. Now around the rest of the region, we have a high of 57 for Brookings, Klamath Falls 50, Wairika 55, and as we're heading through the next few days, definitely are going to see those temperatures climb. And if you're looking to head outside, today is looking great, but tomorrow we're going to try for some even warmer temperatures. I'm thinking we're going to be pushing 70 over into the Rogue Valley, but Saturday, definitely thinking we'll be able to make up into the 70s. Now around the rest of the region tomorrow will be about 5 to 10 degrees above average, and like I mentioned, Saturday even more. So coming up in our next forecast, we'll take a closer look at what you can expect ending out your week and into the weekend.
The Bureau of Land Management can't continue one of their Southern Oregon logging projects. A ruling that was filed on Monday found the project that's meant to address fire hazards violates important environmental laws. The decision sparked ongoing discussions about forest management and wildfire prevention strategies. Conservation groups argued this project would increase fire risk and harm endangered species. The court agreed, ruling that the Bureau of Land Management violated its resources management plan and environmental laws.
You know from science that these biggest, oldest trees are the most fire resistant. So pairing logging of those trees with purported wildfire risk reduction just doesn't make sense.
Following the decision, conservation groups are calling for better management practices, such as prescribed burning and thinning smaller trees to reduce wildfire risk. We reached out to BLM for comment, but have yet to hear back.
The National Interagency Fire Center has issued their national wildland fire outlook maps for this summer. The map evaluates weather patterns, geography, and drought monitors to predict how severe fire season could impact different parts of the country. In Oregon and Northern California, the map suggests that fire risk will be above normal starting in July. So that means that wildfires in July could be larger and more frequent than in previous years.
The California Department of Fish and Wildlife released 79,000 endangered salmon into the Klamath Basin. These coho salmon were raised from eggs and released into Fall Creek, which feeds into the Klamath River. Coho salmon are listed as threatened species at both state and federal levels. The release helps in building long-term resiliency for local salmon populations.
Caltrans District 1 and Caltrans District 2 are wanting to hear from you. Caltrans is working on a plan to improve evacuation preparedness on Route 96 and 169. Both are crucial for wildfire safety and climate resilience. This proposed project will focus on vegetation management and erosion control to better protect the community from extreme weather and wildfires. Caltrans says your feedback is important to shape a safer and more resilient transportation system. You can find the link on the survey on our website.
A local business in Grants Pass is facing reoccurring burglaries. The owner is speaking out about the toll it's taking on their operation. Berry Bowls, Acai Bowls, and Smoothie Shop has been burglarized multiple times over the past year. Some of the incidents occur every few months. Burglars have only stolen frozen fruit and less than $20, but the damage has cost the owner thousands.
We have had a couple of thefts over the 7 years that we've been here, but those were years ago, and like maybe one every 2 years. Now we're talking one every 3 to 4 months.
Lockman believes the problem is because the crime is not properly addressed because of a lack of action in the region addressing rising crime. In an effort to protect the business, Lockman has installed extensive security measures, including cameras both inside and outside the shop. For now, Lockman waits for police to address the root causes of the problem and hopes for a reduction in the crime community.
Rogue Community Health has announced that CEO William North will retire by the end of this year. North has led the organization since 2014. He oversaw the addition of new programs and services, including the creation of a transitional housing program to help those displaced by the 2020 wildfires. RCH says that its board of directors is searching nationwide for its new director.
This morning, Hidden Valley High Schoolers will get a special presentation to bring awareness to sexual assault. Some of these students have been working with community partners to coordinate Project Hope. That's what you're seeing right now on your screen. The program will start with a speaker who's a domestic violence survivor. Then students will walk through this exhibit called the What Were You Wearing exhibit.
Really is the victim mentality that, it's not really accepted to be talked about. And I think just educating people, talking about it, and just showing victims, which you will find everywhere, that they are not alone. And there's resources and there's people that can help them everywhere.
The high school is hoping this event today will bring awareness to sexual assault. Sexual Assault Awareness Month is an opportunity to listen and honor survivors in our community and show those impacted by sexual violence that they are supported.
Crater High School has earned accreditation from Cognia. Cognia is a nonprofit education organization that has been evaluating schools since 1895. Cognia accredits schools meet standards in learning environments, resource allocations, and leadership. The accreditation process involves both internal and external reviews. Scott Dipple, the principal at Crater High, says this provides a nationally recognized mark of quality for the school. And we have an update this morning on a Gresham firefighter, Spencer DeHatis. He's returning to work after almost half of his body was injured while responding to a house fire.
And we've been following his story for about 10 months now, since last summer, including the fundraising efforts from the Legend Cider Company. Today, he is saying he is happy to be back with the people he loves.
Seemingly endless lines of coworkers and friends, every one of them considered family. That's what greeted Spencer Tejadas as he made his way back to the engine house. Last May, Tejadas and two other firefighters were injured while responding to a house fire. Tejadas suffered severe burns on almost half his body and lost most of his fingers. It took 2.5 months for him to be well enough to FaceTime with his own family, and he finally got to go home in late September.
Everybody gets one, baby. Everybody gets one.
Today, he says he's very happy to be back with the people he loves. Tejadas will be in a new administrative role with the Training Academy, where he will mentor new recruits. And he says, boy, does he have some stories to tell them.
A lot of learning to do for myself, but I get to carry that on with a good cadre of training staff here, and yeah, excited to bring on, the future of Gresham and the new recruits and, forever recruits coming to Gresham.
Tejadas was a wildland firefighter before he joined the Gresham Fire Department.
This isn't your typical 9 to 5, and I think people need to understand that. And, going into this back in 2020, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I was coming from the wildland side. I was with 8 years with the U.S. Forest Service. It's a little different ball game.
Tejadas says with the new job, he'll be starting his new normal.
Him being hurt was a devastating blow to us, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And for him to be back is basically an uplift to us.
And know that he's welcomed back by everybody around him.
He's a dear friend of mine. I was there when things went down, and I was at the hospital when he got hurt. I saw him from there, and to watch the road to recovery come back is huge.
Joe English, K2 News.
If you don't have your Saturday planned, consider taking yourself and a couple non-perishable food items up to Mount Ashland. The ski area is offering free lift tickets for the day with a donation of 5 non-expired food items. All donations will go to Access to Make a Difference in our community.
And it definitely is going to be a nice few days ahead, so no excuses not to head up to Mount Ashland this weekend. But if you're off to school today, it definitely is going to be feeling very chilly across the region. In areas over west side, we are dealing with a bit of cloud coverage. By the time you're heading home, though, we'll see much brighter skies. Temperatures will be warming up into the upper 50s for us. And as we're heading into tomorrow, even warmer weather is on the way. So we'll talk more about what you can expect to end out our week coming up.